Hey guys, welcome to the 2 a.m. pipe on the patio. Just blew ashes all over me there. Today, you wipe off my pipe here. Smoking the Savinelli Unfinished 320 KS with H&H Old Dark Fired in it. What a great tobacco this is. Taking me back to my roots with this one. Old Dark Fired was the tobacco that I really started with in my 320 journey. When I first got my first 320, I got that and H&H Dark Fired about the same time. And man, I just loved Dark Fired. When you smell Dark Fired, it smells like not fried chicken, but barbecued chicken is what that tobacco smells like in the tin or the bag note. Just amazing. And you mix that with 4 parts Old Dark Fired with 1 part Sleepy Hollow, and you get a tobacco that tastes like barbecue sauce. And if you don't believe me, ask old Pops, because I sent him some, and man, we love that stuff. I need to get some Sleepy Hollow because I'm all out of it, and I need to mix some more of that up. I gotta wait till like October to find some next time they put it out. Boy, that is a good blend. That is a good blend. So if any of you guys have some Sleepy Hollow, take 4 parts Dark Fired, old H&H Old Dark Fired, and mix it with 1 part of Sleepy Hollow. Let it sit for 30 days and try that out. Let me know what you think of it. It's amazing. So before I came out here, Sadie and I were listening to Hummingbird by Leon Russell. Sadie's a big fan of hummingbirds. They remind her of her grandma Sarah. And she's been talking about getting a hummingbird tattoo on her wrist for her graduation to remind her of her grandma Sarah. And so I played that song for her. And we got talking about it. And bring this down a little bit here, and she started talking about how that would be a good song for her to use as she walks down the aisle when she gets married. And if you're familiar with that song, at the very end, the background singers come in and they all start singing "Don't Fly Away, Don't Fly Away," and it's just beautiful, man. It's just beautiful. It's an incredible song. And I said, well, you know, at that part, that would be the part where I would be lifting your veil. and kissing you and giving you away. And of course, we both broke down in tears. Just thinking about that moment. And so then I let her listen to the B.B. King's version of it. Which is a little bit different. And she liked B.B. King's version better because she felt she could understand the lyrics a little better. I like Leon Russell's version better. It's a little more powerful than B.B. King's version is. And at the end, when the choir of girls come in at the end, Leon Russell's version is just, it's going to church. You are going to church in Leon Russell's version. He had the cream of the crop background singers, Clyde King and Vanetta Fields, Mary Clayton coming in at the end singing with him. You know, man, they were the best of the best. And when they came in on it, man, you are going to church at the end of it, you know. I love Leon Russell, and he was one of my all-time musical heroes, and just a giant musician. And when I was a senior in high school, I came home every single day my senior year, and I listened to first record on the turntable was Leon Russell's first album that had Hummingbird and A Song for You and Shootout on the Plantation, Roll Away the Stone, Delta Lady. It was just a humongous album in my life, and I think the greatest album he ever did for me. I loved that album. His first 3 albums were fantastic. First 4 albums were fantastic. But that one just was amazing. Leon played with everybody. I mean, he played with Sinatra, Barbra Streisand, Eric Clapton, George Harrison, Joe Cocker. He played with everybody who was anybody. He played on their records. I mean, he was B.B. King, Freddie King. He played with everybody. Everybody wanted that man on their records. And he was part of the Wrecking Crew, and he was just amazing at playing the piano. He was just truly a master musician, and but I'd put his album on first, then I'd put Robin Trower's Twice Removed from Yesterday on, and then Joe Cocker's I Could Stand a Little Rain. And those 3 albums had to go on before I would do anything else in my senior year. That was my my musical had tos in my senior year of high school. I had changed schools in my senior year, and senior year was just a mess. Luckily, I only had to go to school for like 5 months. I graduated in January in my senior year. I switched districts, and so I had everything I needed to get done to graduate, and so I only had the only mandatory classes I had to take when I switched districts was psychology and gym were the only 2 classes I had to take in my senior year. So I took psychology, gym, and then I took 5th semester of photography, and then that was it. I only took 3 classes in my senior year, and so I graduated in January, and I was out of there, and I didn't even go to my graduation ceremony. It was like, they had a small little thing at the, after in January for us, that at the hall, you went in there and they gave you your little certificate, and then they told us you come back in June for the big graduation ceremony, walk across the stage. And I was like, no thanks, I'm not coming back for that. I don't know anybody, I had no friends. There's no way I was coming back, and so Sadie really liked that Leon Russell's Hummingbird, and but she liked B.B. King's version a little better, but I'll fix that. I'll let her listen to Leon's version enough that she'll fall in love with it. If you've never listened to Leon Russell, and I'm sure there's a lot of you out there who haven't, check Leon's first album out. It's the blue one. It's a blue one with a black and white photo of him sitting like on the back of it with a chair turned backwards, and he's got a top hat on. That is such a fantastic album. That man was so funky. Man had more talent than any one man should be allowed to have. He was just he was a true amazing talented man, a national treasure, and he was a musician's musician, is what he was, and so many musicians have recorded his songs. Like A Song for You, it's been recorded by I don't know how many people. Back to the Island, man. That song, I could listen to that song for the rest of my life and never get tired of that song, man. I will never get tired of that song, Back to the Island. It's just, if that song don't put you in a good mood, there's something wrong with you. I wish YouTube would let us play songs on our videos. I'd put these songs in here so you could hear them. And I'm humming them. I got them in my head now. I gotta hum them. Good stuff. Check out Leon Russell. You owe it to yourself to check out Leon Russell. Had a voice all his own, like nobody else. But his music was just incredible. He was just an incredible musician. And he had a who's who of people playing with him all the time. I mean, his first album, he had Eric Clapton, George Harrison, Bobby Whitlock, Carl Radle. He just had everybody playing on that record. I mean, he had everybody playing on that record with him. It was just, everybody wanted to play with that man. And he was a treasure. And Leon Russell and the Shelter People, another fantastic album. Just fantastic. Anyway, it was fun letting Sadie listen to that music and seeing her like hear it and watch her reaction to it. And then when it got to the part where it was "Don't fly away," and then thinking about me lifting her veil and kissing her, and both of us breaking down and crying, and that's gonna be a hard day for me. It's gonna be a hard day for me when that day arrives, to let that little girl go. She's been a daddy's girl her whole life. There's gonna be a river of tears flowing that day. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one.